Hello nerds, I'm Scruffy at Scruffy Tales, and this is the War Zone. And today's video is gonna be a silly one. Well, most of my videos are silly. This is gonna be extra silly. We are gonna take a look at what online know-it-alls want for Sweden's next CV90, the MÖP CV90. And MÖP is Swedish for militärt överintresserad person, militarily overinterested person. You know, a military nerd. And so we're gonna be taking a look what people want for the next CV90. And what is it people want? Well, the news that Sweden will go from the 40mm Bofors to a 35mm chaingun seems to have upset a lot of people. So they obviously want the Bofors. And they also seem to want an autoloader for it. That's gonna reduce the ammo capacity. Currently, a CV90 in Swedish service has 230 rounds in it in total. So adding an autoloader and all the mechanisms of that into the vehicle uh, will probably reduce the ammunition count. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to stick that in there somehow. And then people seem to be wanting an NLAW for the CV90 as well. Not sure. Yeah, I think I have an idea what you might do with that. And people also want the 3P ammunition, the programmable ammunition that can deal with troops hiding in trenches. It can deal with helicopters. You can gun down drones. You can even rely on it to shoot down incoming missiles. And you can also take out buildings and light skin vehicles with it. The 3P can apparently defeat at least 18 millimeters of armor. That's not a lot, but we should keep in mind that it is enough to defeat the BMP-2s. So if you want to take out Russian or infantry fighting vehicles, the 3P is good enough. But if you want to engage a tank, you need something bigger, and then you need a 40mm saber round. So we can't discard saber rounds completely. We need a mix to be able to be as effective as possible. And let's see here. Sorry about that. So what do we want for the MERP CV90? Well, we're gonna be wanting this, don't we? ATGMs, anti-tank guided missiles. Two of them in a pod. Sweden is gonna be using RB58. This is what the next ATGM will be called. That is the French Acron. And that will give the Swedish CV90 beyond line of sight capability. So together with a drone, you use the drone to scout out the target, and then the CV90 can, hidden away by terrain features, or the enemy is hidden by terrain features, you can then launch the Acron into the air and relying on the drone to hit the target. Very nifty. So we want that. We also want this is a 35mm. That is wrong. We want a 40mm, and we want it to be an autoloader, so we can effectively engage targets and quickly switch between ammunition, what have you. And so we want I think we may get away with 60 3P and 20 saber rounds. We're going to be focusing on the 3P because we want to be able to take out light skin vehicles, helicopters, infantry. And if we're in a pinch, we can rely on the saber rounds to deal with tanks if we can engage them in the flank. But mainly we want the 3P and 60 rounds of them to be able to effectively deal with, like I said, infantry and light skin vehicles, or if they're hiding in a building. We also want NLAW, and so we need to mount the NLAWs at the back of the turret so we can fire overhead at any targets that are approaching. And I think we also, since drones will probably make the mounted combat with troops in the hatches obsolete, I figured we could add on the side of the turret not just smoke launchers but also frag launchers. Now, Sweden already has launchers that can be used for either smoke or frag, but I think we will have dedicated smoke launchers and then we add these extra frag launchers just for the hell of it, right? Because we can't have troops in the hatches anymore because then we risk drones dropping in from above and killing everyone. So we're gonna have to have closed hatches, and that means we can add some extra stuff back on the turret. I'll take a look at this drawing. It's beautiful. Moving on. So so yeah, so we're gonna be having active protection system that can deal with incoming RPGs and missiles. Two of those, one on either end of the turret. And we're gonna have the pod here with the ATGMs that can be launched at tanks at a distance, relying on the drone to guide those in. And we're also gonna have two NLAWs positioned between the APS, the active protection system, situated here, able to fire in the wherever the gun is pointing at, basically. So the gunner can quickly just switch from the gun to NLAWs and fire directly. You don't need to aim or spot the target. You just press one button and the NLAWs fire basically, and they are set to automatically go for top attack mode just for ease of use. And then you have on either side of the turret as well these frag launchers and the 40mm with 3P and saber rounds, right? I think this should make everyone happy except actual vehicle designers that will puke and vomit all over this and go, this is the most ridiculous thing we've ever seen. But, military nerds, I hope you like this. And why will this new MERP CV90 work? Well, remember when we saw a CV90 driving up to Russian trenches and dismounted infantry? Well, this is where we will need the frag launchers, because just before the dismounts get out, you can then pop the frags out. Maybe you can decide short, medium, long distance, and you can have air bursts, a couple of meters up in the air. The grenades detonate and just spray 1,000 tungsten pellets each all across the area here, and killing, wounding, and suppressing the enemy as the dismounts get out. And they gather here, and then they go into the trenches and start hunting down the enemy. So that's where the frag launches will work wonders, right? In the MERP universe. And remember when we had the Bradley going after the T90 in Stepove, and the Bradley fired, what was it, 30 rounds? And, this is what basically happened. It hit time and time again and didn't really do all that much damage until that lucky shot that had the turret started spinning. The Bradley survived by sheer luck, but if we have a CV90 with two NLAWs on top, you can then quickly just flick a switch, and instead of relying on your chain gun or autocannon, you fire an NLAW instead, all the way up here or at wherever you're firing, and the end result is this instead of this. One shot, one kill instead of 30 shots and hoping for the best. So that is why we have two NLAWs on top of the turret capable of firing quickly at a target at close range, guaranteeing that kill even if it's a dangerous main battle tank. So here we go. Yes, the ultimate MERP CV90. The CV90 that all Swedish military nerds online seems to agree that this is the wrong gun. We need a 40mm gun firing 3P ammunition. We need active protection system. We need anti-tank guided missiles to fire at enemy tanks at long range. We need NLAWs situated on top so we can one-shot any tank that appears at short range, so we don't have to end up doing what the Bradley doing, firing and hoping for the best. And of course we need frag launchers so we can support the infantry as they dismount and get ready to charge the enemy. And we also need a drone, naturally, that can fly around and scout for enemy locations, and so we can rely on it to guide in the Acro missiles from afar. But most of all, I think we need 40mm gun with the 3P because that is what people want. And we also need NLAWs on top to be able to one-shot any enemy tank that pops up at close distance. So that's it, the ultimate MERP CV90. But enough of this nonsense, this MERP silliness, this MERP bullshit. I hope you found it a bit funny, even if it's very silly. And I'm betting that engineers that happen to see this will puke and vomit, but hey, nerds online might actually enjoy what I've just done. All that said, enough of this silliness, and I will see you in the next one.